The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers, and took the name of the Lord in vain, and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken-down toll house. There are 6 of them: Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and whamming kids. So it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place. Sweet Darrell, sweet Darrell, because there are no Herdmans there, and Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps the mouse away. That's my little brother, Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what was his favorite thing about church. Charlie said, no Herdmans. That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No Herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else says. All that stuff is good, but the main good thing about church is that the Herdmans aren't there ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
Well, it's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one? Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets it.
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always gets. They can use my seat. I'll just stay home, relax, put on my bathrobe. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph every year, just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Playing a manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or bed sheets. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant. She runs a potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes?
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital because that's where she is. I ran into George at the drugstore and he told me his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up till the 1st of the year.
The 1st of the year? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the pageant, and she's in charge of the bazaar. I do feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
Well, I'll take over the potluck supper, Edna, if you can handle the bazaar. I don't know what we'll do about the children's Christmas pageant unless... How about Grace?
I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
How about Grace? Hello, Grace!
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you'd call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was just about the only unexpected thing that ever happened to her. It was always the same old Christmas story, the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
I'll tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Now, here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary is the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. Well, that's how I explain that. Frankly, I don't speak.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How come she talked on the phone if she's in traction?
Well, what do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth will need salt and pepper and napkins.
Only small after. And
You will leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdmans still my lunch. Again.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
because they'll be your biggest problem. You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on stage. Otherwise, they'll get in each other's way and bend their wings. Well, you can get Bob to do that, and he can keep an eye on the shepherds as well. And another thing about the angel choir.
I have to go, Helen. There's someone at my door. I'll talk to you later. Yes, yes, I'm coming.
So I always tell
Lady, can you give me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's you.
I was very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet Mrs. Armstrong told you about no small parts, only small actors.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on and making sure that shepherds shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
Don't choose just anybody, child, for the baby Jesus. Get a quiet one. Or better yet, get two. That way, if one of them gets fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital, nothing to do but think up problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, my mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, give me back my lunch. Sure can hear. You stole my dessert again. How do you know? Because it isn't here. What was it? 2 Twinkies. That's right. That's what it was. Ha ha. Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my lunch every day. But you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school. Oh yeah? What kind of desserts? All kinds. Chocolate cake, candy bars, big wheels, Twinkies. We get refreshments all the time. All we want. You're a liar. And cupcakes, and donuts, and ice cream. Who gives it to you? The minister? Why? Is he crazy? No, I think you should. Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's like a play.
Like on TV? What's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Charlie, you and David, come. Now, this won't take very long if you all will settle down and get quiet. Today we're going to decide who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. Of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you. There are no small parts, only small actors.
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Well, don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is just as important as Mary.
Well, I'm not sure that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
No, it's Mary.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, will you just step out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Now, you little children are going to be our baby angels. So I want you to remind your mothers that you're going to need bed sheets. And people in the angel choir are going to need bed sheets too. And now, what is the matter here? Let's make some room for the Herdmans. What's
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was just said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals? The next 4 Wednesdays after school. Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. You know, the wise men must not get sick, and neither should the shepherds, and Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we haven't even started yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want us all to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and kind and gentle, and the person who plays Mary should try to be like that kind of person. Now, who would like to volunteer for this part? Yes, Imogene, do you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. What? Over there. He wants to be Joseph.
Well, I'll just make a list of the volunteers, and then we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else can I put on my list? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Just raise your hands, please. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. Who else can I put on my list? Janet, Roberta, Alice, didn't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be, and we can
I'll be a
always...
wise man. Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand. What's a wise man? Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I was trying to say, I can't be a shepherd. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Why, Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all for today, boys and girls, and you can go. But I expect to see everyone back here on Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you volunteer?
I don't know.
You don't know? Alice, I expected you to volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Oh, come on, Gladys. I didn't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in this Christmas pageant. And if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, but I'm always married in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And the next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody reach it. It'll sprout there and grow and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible to ruin this whole Christmas pageant, and it's all your mother's fault.
Jane, Edna McCarthy here. Have you heard about the... Well, it must somehow be Grace's fault. How else did the 6 of them end up in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma Slocum here, and I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be marrying the Christmas pageant tonight. Is that a fact? What, 6 of them? Well, Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of child is that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? And where's the Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut-in, and he wasn't visiting me.
And I said, let them hand out Christmas programs at the pageant.
Send them away.
And Grace said they
Tell
don't
them to
have
go
programs
home.
at the pageant.
Well, you better nail down the church and lock up the silver service and hide the collection plates before they clean them out.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, I'm on your side. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only person alive who can direct a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind just to do the very best that I could under the circumstances, and now this is going to be the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands, and no one else did, and I really don't care if anyone else thinks that it is the most ridiculous
Good for you,
thing.
Grace. Car's over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean?
You have to go. The inn is back here, off stage, and the shepherds come in and gather around the manger.
What's the din? So you must know people go to that. What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Hey there, cats. I don't know how. Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
Beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this pageant is, so I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story from the Bible?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church before until your dumb brother told them that we got refreshments. Now we have to spend this whole time for nothing.
All right now. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant? She was
All right, let's move on. We all know that Mary was pregnant. And
I don't think it's very nice to say that Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say that Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to be talking about people being pregnant, especially in church.
and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, for there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them? Her being pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Not a bed.
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it, and he didn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
That was pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the water that flowed?
The what?
Down there, you wrapped them up with water that flowed.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in big pieces of material to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round.
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night. With horrible inventions. The Mighty Marvel.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The Mighty Marvel. And amazing comics. Out of the
This
black.
is the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right in the black night. Right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they in welfare? The wise men?
No, they were kings, and they
Well,
were...
it's about time somebody important showed up. They're kings. They can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was... Well, he was the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he was just born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
Sounds good with baby, and he isn't even in the play.
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all.
But Daniel, don't do it. Then go back and get Herod. I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No, Joseph gets the shepherds together and go wipe out Herod. See, they're going to put one in, and it's going to be me. And all they can.
There's no Herod.
And now we're going with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you go wipe out the innkeeper. I can't. I'm an angel. Ha, ha, ha.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around out in the barn. I go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I throw somebody out. I tell them, I've got this baby and it's the middle of winter. So either get out or move over.
I go after old Herod. I send an angel after him. She just pointed her finger and turned into a pile of ashes. Yeah, Zach. What? The name is play. She never said Christmas pageant. That's no name. That's what it is. I know a name. I know a name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum. Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby, and that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch one up, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal too. If you shake their birthday bake, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is blue and Imogene Herdman is sitting in the Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down. What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and everyone else who wants to know when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, everyone. Come on out and let's set up the nativity scene. Beth and Alice, will you please come here so we can get started? Now, this is our very last rehearsal. So I want...
Oh, Grace! We're back in the kitchen making applesauce cakes. But we'll try not to disturb you because I know this is your last rehearsal.
Well, it's supposed to be. Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a little girl a month or so ago? A little baby. I think she's a month old, right?
She's 5 weeks old.
Well, do you think I could call her and see if we could borrow her for our Christmas pageant?
No, Grace! I can lie to you and say the baby's sick or pregnant or something, but she's happy and healthy and beautiful, and we intend to keep her that way. So we're not about to turn her over to Imogene Herdman! Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, David.
He's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double strength and he can probably scrunch up.
Well, I don't think that'll
I'll
work.
get us a baby.
How can you do that?
There's always 2 or 3 babies outside the supermarket. I'll grab one of them.
Imogene, you cannot just walk off with somebody's baby. I guess we'll forget about the baby. We'll just have to use the doll.
Yeah, that's better anyway. A dog can't bite you.
And Imogene, you know that Mary did not wear earrings.
But I have to wear these. I've got my ears pierced. If I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
They won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
She probably did it with an ice pick. I bet Imogene's ears turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll buy something smaller. Now, is that what you're going to wear? You were all supposed to have your costumes on today.
I can't find my halo. My wings got all bent. Let's go and roll. My mother doesn't have white sheet. Can I wear a sheet with balloons on it? I haven't got a costume. I was never shepherd for it. You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do. He hasn't got a bathroom. What does he hang around the house in? His underwear.
Just pretend you're wearing your costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first we're going to practice just the entrances, so I want all of you to go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherds. Maxine, just read the last few words, please.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and... Shazam!
No, Gladys. No. Go on, Maxine.
A multitude of heavenly hosts.
Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No. You
Let's
don't
go get
say
back.
anything. Nobody says anything. We just make a lovely picture for everyone to look at and think about Christmas and what it means. Now put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel comes up to me and tells me what to name him. I would call him Bill.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say. What angel was that? You're saying it goes all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brings the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child's born.
Unto me, not them, me. I'm the one who had the baby.
No, it just means that Jesus belongs to all of us. Unto everyone a child is born.
Why didn't they let Mary name her own baby? What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus?
Yes.
I know what the angel said. The angel said, his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My God, he never got out of the first grade if you had all that down. Hey, Rob, get back here! I'm gonna kill you! Leroy, get back! What should I do? Should I start over?
5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes.
We never did start over, and we never did get through the whole thing. 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herdmans spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. Then Mrs. McCarthy came in and saw all the smoke and called the fire department. And they came right away.
Fire! There's a fire!
Bring this thing home to the side! This is full of kids! Get the kids out and everybody out! Go on the roof floor!
The firemen dragged a big hose through the building, looking for a fire to put out. But the only one they found was in the kitchen, where all the applesauce cake burned up. Of course, old ladies were mad about that, and my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
There was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, the church is full of firemen, and the street's full of little baby angels crying, and the shepherds are crawling all over the fire truck and half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
Oh, Grace, I didn't. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
And Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and Alice Wendelkin's mother was mad, and Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
I have been on the phone all day. I can't make head or tails of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Some people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wimbledon said all they talk about is sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear, and they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the church is in an uproar, and I don't know. Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me, but I don't think he meant the Herdmans. Grace, don't you think we ought to call the pageant off?
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
Oh, but everybody thinks it's going to be
A disaster? Well, they're wrong. This is going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
But Grace, I don't think anyone will want to come see it.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jam full. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Now watch your step. Wait till I turn the lights on.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what in the world you expect me to do with this thing.
Well, I thought it might look like a palm tree, but now I see that it doesn't. You know, I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. We've never once run through the whole thing. And the Herdmans still think it's some sort of spy story. This may be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the shepherds get in a fight and Mary runs off with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids.
We're here.
Well, go get your costumes on. It's getting late.
It's just going to be awful, you know. They look like trick-or-treat, all dirty and pinned together with safety pins, and wearing their moldy old sneakers. Mary Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. Mary and Joseph, they were refugees in a way. They were a long way from home, didn't know anybody, didn't have any place to stay. They were probably cold and hungry and tired and messy.
I don't know about the cold and hungry, but definitely the messy.
Oh dear. Do you think I should go
you
down
worry
there?
too much. Now, I'm going to push the baby angels on stage, and then I'm going to hand out the shepherd's crooks and push them on stage. Now, when do I do all that?
Just follow the script.
Angels, shepherds, wise men. Doesn't seem to say in here where the fire engines come out.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Is everyone here? Beth and Alice, I want you down front where you can help with the baby angels. Now everyone come out on stage. I want to see what you look like. Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, listen, listen. Listen. I think I ought to say something besides the baby. Why would they all get up and chase after some baby they don't even know? I gotta tell them it's Jesus and where he is.
No, Gladys. You tell them, unto you a child is born, and that's all you tell them. Now, I would like for us all to go backstage and try to be very quiet while everyone is coming in. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
I know that. But for those of you who don't know what that means, it's just a theatrical term. It doesn't mean break a leg, yours or anyone else's. And Imogene, try to remember that that's a baby. And for tonight anyways, it's the baby Jesus.
justice, a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. Joseph went to Bethlehem with his wife Mary, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there's no room for them in the inn.
Oh, I don't think it's very nice to burp the baby Jesus, as if it had colic.
Well, it could have had colic just like any other baby.
I don't care. It looks awful. They look awful.
So what? They just came a long way, and now they've got no place to sleep and a new baby to worry about.
Who, Ralph and Imogene?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region, there were shepherds in the fields keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And the glory of the Lord shone around, and the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "Be not."
Hey, unto you, angel of the Lord. It's Jesus, and he's in the barn. Go see, go on. So there, go see.
And suddenly, there was a multitude of heavenly hosts praising glory to God in the highest, and on earth, peace among men. When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
It's a ham.
A ham? They must have stolen it.
No, I think it's the ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? They must hate ham.
Well, even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their whole lives.
Being warned in a dream not to return to their own countries, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all they had seen and heard,
But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Herdman and the rest of them? I think this was the best Christmas pageant ever, and I think it was because of them.
Oh, I always get weepy about the pageant with the children and the carols and all. But you're right, it really was the best one, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something a little different.
Well, that angel of the Lord was different, that's for sure.
I like that. I like a little spunk in the angel of the Lord. Sometimes you can't even hear him. I've got to go find Grace and tell her.
Oh, but I just wish I'd let her have Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
Oh, no, Irma. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the pageant was about Jesus, but that was only part of it. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, nobody they knew. And then, arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene birthing the baby, and the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, you couldn't eat frankincense. Even Gladys, he's in the barn, go see him. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the pageant was all wonder and mystery, as if she just got onto what Christmas was all about. After the play, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any cocoa, they didn't take all the cookies, they wouldn't even accept our candy canes.
I guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone. You know, you still have your bathrobe on. You aren't going to wear it, are you?
Why not? Maybe someone will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would, because at the end, some lady came up and hugged me. Should I bring this ham?
It's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. But they wouldn't take it back. Leroy said, it's a present. You don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate him.
You and Alice Wendell.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
That's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.
And so it came to pass in the days of, and there were shepherds abiding,
A multitude praising